Hey friends, Barkey Dog back with another movie review. This time, in our never-ending quest, we're once again visiting that magical, mystical world we know as the 1980s. Specifically, 1986, and the movie is The Wraith. This is one of those movies that's sort of a by-the-numbers teen drama thing where a young hero has to face a tough gang out to get him and exact their revenge. The sort of movie we've all seen a million times, right? Well, what sets The Wraith apart is the addition of some sci-fi mystical weirdness to the mix. And to be honest, a pretty hot, sexy chick as the love interest. Our story begins with some weird lights flying around in the night skies over Arizona, kind of like Close Encounters, but on a budget. They converge to form a supercar and a guy dressed like a biker astronaut. The Wraith. Could have been Automan, but trust me, it's the Wraith. There's a typical gang of tough guys in town, and they grab cars by forcing the owners into a drag race and cheating to beat them. Then they take ownership of the car. The leader of the gang is played by Nick Cassavetes. He's a psychopath who likes to play with a switchblade. He has a thing for a hot, sexy chick played by Sherilyn Fenn, who you may recall from Twin Peaks. Can't blame him there. Holy guacamole! But suddenly, a stranger appears who looks like Charlie Sheen. That's because he is Charlie Sheen. Before he became a winning, levitating wizard infused with tiger blood, Charlie Sheen made movies, and some of them were pretty good. Here, he's a mysterious guy in sunglasses. He also takes a shine to the hot, sexy chick. Again, no blame here. Predictably, Gangy McGangface and his gang don't like that, as Gangy won't let anyone have the chick but him. In fact, one night, a guy was making out with this hot, sexy chick, and Gangy McGangface and his gang broke in. They knifed the guy, tossed him in a car, and pushed it off a cliff. The chick never saw who did it, but her boyfriend was dead. Or is he? Mr. Mystery has scars similar to the ones the dead boyfriend had, and seems to know a lot about both her and the gang. He also reminds her of someone, but how can that be? The hot, sexy chick and the dead boyfriend's brother both work at a burger place. As Gangy is hassling them one day, the Wraith shows up and silently challenges the gang to a race. One of the gang stupidly takes up the challenge, and it doesn't end well for him. Scratch one bad guy. Then the Wraith goes to the gang's hideout and blasts away with a shotgun. Later, another of Gangy's gang gets killed in another Wraith race. The local police don't know what to do, as the gang won't talk and the Wraith just disappears. You can't cuff a ghost. One by one, the Wraith takes out the gang, either by racing them to death or just blowing them up, until only Gangy McGangface is left. But no matter how they die, by explosion or fire or a big crash, their bodies are found intact and don't have a mark on them, other than their eyes being burnt out. Apparently, this was supposed to be like being struck by divine lightning, Kinda like what happened to the Nazis in Raiders when they opened the Ark of the Covenant. But again, it's never explained. On the plus side, not explaining it kinda adds to the spooky weirdness. What doesn't work so well is how the Wraith loses parts of his spacesuit each time he kills a bad guy. He has these metal braces on the suit, and a piece falls off and evaporates after each gang guy is snuffed. Supposedly, this was meant to convey how the Wraith was getting stronger with each act of vengeance or something, but nothing about that is made clear. He could be getting weaker for all anyone can tell, or maybe he just has a crappy spacesuit that keeps falling apart. Who knows? The car in the movie is a real car made by Chrysler, as opposed to a custom vehicle specifically made for the movie, and you can see the Dodge logo right on the front. It was a Dodge MS4 pace car, which could go almost 200 miles per hour. They had several of these things. One was for beauty shots, 2 others were for racing, and the rest were shells that could be towed or reused for the exploding car crashes. The shotgun the Wraith has is also a real weapon, albeit dressed up with some red LED lights. It was a Spaz 12, a 12-gauge tactical shotgun made in Italy. Looks all futuristic and weird, so that's why they used it. Not all went well on this set. The movie is dedicated to Bruce Ingram. He was an assistant cameraman on a camera truck that was overloaded. The thing flipped over during one action sequence and he was killed. Despite the explosions, racing, and car crashes, this was reportedly the only serious accident on the set. Unfortunately, this movie leaves a lot on the table, such as the lack of explanation of the metal braces falling off the Wraith's suit and the eye thing. Like, how did this guy come back from the dead, and with superpowers? Why didn't he just wipe out the gang when he first visits their garage? They were all in one place, so why not just kill them all and be done with it? Why does he have a time limit on completing his task, something he implies when talking to the sexy chick? Will he become a normal human if he completes his task, or go back to space? Is he from space? Or heaven? Or some mystical place that's never mentioned? If he makes out with his sexy chick and she has a kid, will the kid have powers too? Is his motorcycle powered by the same force as the car, or will he have to stop for gas now and then? If you needed a vehicle to use for divine retribution, why would you choose one made by the Chrysler Corporation? And this sexy chick, where are her parents? She apparently lives at home with them, I guess, but we never see or hear them. She doesn't own this house on a burger joint car hop waitress's salary, so where are they? I have questions, like, what's her phone number? I'm giving this one 2 paws. The Wraith is not particularly all that original in the final analysis, being a rather standard hero fights gang guy's revenge story. But the dose of sci-fi mystical weirdness lends it a cool cachet, elevates the material to a higher level, and it makes the movie a movie you should see at least once. It's certainly one you'll remember. The Wraith is available on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digitally from Amazon Prime. Well, that's all I have for you this time. I'll be back soon with another video. In the meantime, you take care of yourselves, okay? And I'll see you in the next one.